the next generation RELiON Outlaw 1072S portable power station. Quick interruption. Be sure and like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. And thanks to RELiON for sending us the Outlaw to put through the paces on a couple of adventures before we send it back. The Outlaw is a solid power station in a competitive field. The design is cool looking and sturdy. It's got great features, and the big story here, reliability, which makes sense. They've got a reputation for reliable, powerful batteries in several industries, from house batteries for RVs, sailing ships, and overland vehicles, to marine and golf cart batteries. Their long history puts them in a great position in this market, too. It's the perfect product for powering and or charging all sorts of devices at camp. We're talking smartphones, kids' devices, a little fan to keep you cool, LED lights, power tools, even a coffee maker or blender. It's also a great emergency backup at home in case the power goes out. It's got you covered from laptops to lights and will run your refrigerator and freezer for a while. You'll be able to stay charged up and stay on top of weather updates. When it comes to steady, reliable, long-lasting power with built-in safeguards, the Outlaw shines. Its pure sine wave inverter protects sensitive electronics, while the internal battery management system and UL 1642 certified internal cells give several layers of protection against all sorts of potential problems like undervoltage, overvoltage, overcurrent, and short circuits. The Outlaw 1072S onboard battery delivers 921.6 watt-hours of juice. From that, it serves up 1,000 watts of steady power with 2,000 watts of peak power for those things that need a surge to get going. That power means the Outlaw will deliver 15.6 hours of runtime with a 50-watt laptop, LED string light or mini fridge, 10.4 hours with a 75-watt portable speaker, 7.8 hours with a 100-watt LED TV, and you can do the math on other devices, but one thing I'm all for is 5.2 hours with a 150-watt electric blanket. The thing is, if you're sitting by the campfire, or even more crucially, camping in a hammock or a tent, a little burst of heated blanket can make a huge difference when you're trying to stay comfortable. It doesn't need to heat all night, but a little blip here and there, like after crawling back into the tent after checking for bears at 3 a.m. Well, that heat is game-changing. The tech behind the battery is the latest LiFePO 4. Let's call it lithium iron phosphate technology. So it's safer than other lithium options. We're talking about preventing those random battery fires you hear about that start when least expected. On top of that, the lithium iron phosphate tech offers up to an amazing 3,500 life cycles. You could literally run your gear and drain the power station every day, going from 0 to hero for around 9.5 years. Without question, you'll be outlawing for a long time. That's sweet. What could you plug in? Take a look at the ports. It's got 3 USB-A ports with 1 standard and 2 quick-charging USB 3.0 plugs. For USB-C, there's 2 PD or power delivery ports for quick charging. Then there's a 12-volt DC car port for powering things like this old-school adventure lamp I still have lying around. There's 2 12-volt DC barrel plugs with a variety of connections that fit all sorts of things. Along with all that are the 2 120-volt AC wall ports. That's where you plug in the power tools, the blender, and in theory, you could be charging up to 10 things with all these ports at the same time. To activate the ports, press the small power button on either end of the unit. One powers up the AC ports and lights up red. The other powers up DC, lighting up green. Check out this lakeside video shoot. Light, camera, air conditioner, mic, all powered by the Outlaw without breaking a sweat. I mean, the Outlaw certainly didn't break a sweat, and neither did I, which was awesome. That brings us to charging. Typically, you'll charge the Outlaw from wall power, which takes 6 to 8 hours for a full charge. Plug the pack into an outlet, screw into the unit, and off you go. Solar is another great option, especially off-grid with up to 160 watts of input. The third way to charge is with the 30-amp quick charger. Hook this cable up to something like a car battery for a full charge in 2 to 3 hours. Side note, using solar or the 30-amp quick charger, the Outlaw will do pass-through charging. That means you can run your devices while simultaneously charging the power station. Why that isn't possible with the AC port, I'm not sure, but I'm no engineer. Once you've powered up the Outlaw or are actively charging the unit, the awesome display will light up, letting you know exactly what's going on. It gives you a specific readout of watts coming in, watts flowing out. It has an easy to read graph showing generally what percentage is left, and then gives an up to the minute reading of how much time is left at the current power draw. That being said, I had an interesting conversation with an electrical engineer named Oliver, who's done a ton of battery tech work with a big Minnesota outdoor brand. There's two camps in the engineering world, he said. The first thinks the public just wants a graph to quickly show how much power is left. The second camp says that people using tech like this, having the exact numbers handy is great, not only for geeking out, but for assessing and setting up a real power usage plan. The great thing is, with the easy to read display on the Outlaw, you get both. Nerd out if you want to. The Outlaw 1072S comes in at 32 pounds, and that's a little more than some of its competitors. There's a couple of other things I don't totally love about the unit, like no Bluetooth app to let you know how much power is left. And there's this high-pitched whine that seems to only come on when using the AC ports. But once you hear it, there it is. Other YouTubers have mentioned it too, which means it's built into something. Maybe the fans? Who knows? Those fans, which people mistake for onboard speakers, are big and powerful, so the unit stays cool under heavy use even on warm days. Like other power stations, be aware that they can cycle on more often than you want, and they can make some noise when they do. Looking at the heartometer, also called the heartometer, on certain ferry rides across Lake Michigan, I'm getting 4.385 out of 5 hearts. There's a lot to love here. The no pass-through charging with AC is complaint-worthy, and that high-pitched, barely audible squeal, that needs to be addressed. That being said, the Outlaw is a solid product with a great company behind it, a strong warranty, and man, it looks and feels good while getting the jobs done that it sets out to do. Without question, you'll be able to rely on the RELiON Outlaw 1072S for portable power while you're out having great adventures with family and friends at the RV park, camping, overlanding, boondocking, and even at home. Hey, thanks for watching, and I mean this. I'll see you somewhere, and I can't wait to hear your stories.